Welcome to the Daily Dish for Monday, October 6th. I'm Shay Pausa. Today we have a special She Knows Money and Finance. Unless you are off the grid, you cannot avoid the news and commentary about our current economic situation. Terms like mortgage meltdown and Wall Street bailouts are now part of our everyday vocabulary. And when you hear the richest man in the country, Warren Buffett, call the situation an economic Pearl Harbor, it can be downright scary. She Knows wants to know, what does this all mean to us? So we brought in a financial expert to answer your questions. Today's Daily Dish was brought to you by Super Values Culinary Circle. With chef-inspired cuisine that mirrors today's most popular restaurants, Culinary Circle transforms creative casual dining at home. We have with us today Dana Anspach. She is an expert in retirement planning and investing, and she's the author of Sensible Money. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks, Shay.
Okay, Dana, the first question comes from Michelle. She's a 37-year-old mom, and she asks, what is the best investment option for me to save money for my 1-year-old son's future? I've heard 529s are good choices, but with the economy, I'm not sure. Are 521s a good bet right now?
Well, one of the things to know about 529 plans is that's just a label that tells the government how to tax the investments inside that plan. So inside a 529 plan, you have the choice to choose more conservative options or more aggressive options. And if her son is 1 year old, she's got a long time, 18 years, before she would need to use those funds. So I would think she would first want to learn more about 529 plans, and she could go to savingforcollege.com, which will give her a great overview of all the plans out there, and she could pick safe investment options if she wanted to.
All right, next question is from Susie. She's 32 years old. She asked simply, is my 401k safe? Are these insured?
401k plans are not insured, and a 401k plan is also a label, and then inside that 401k bucket, the participant usually gets to choose the types of investments. Most 401k plans are invested in mutual funds, and we have this irrational fear we're going to watch those funds just go to zero. But that would mean almost every publicly traded company in America would be bankrupt at once. So it's completely irrational to think that those funds would go to zero. For someone that has 10 to 20 years still to go, honestly, you just want to not worry about it right now and think about where that value is going to be 10, 20 years down the road.
So where should our money be right now?
If your money was invested for your personal goals and your time frame to begin with, now is not the time to make changes. You may decide after the market recovers that you don't want to experience that much risk again. And so once the market's recovered, you might choose to rebalance and have a more conservative approach going forward. But right now, I encourage most people to stick with the original plan that they laid out.
All right, and this next letter comes from Ashley. She's 25, and she asks, how will the economy affect things like my credit cards and student loans?
Well, if there are credit cards she already has and student loans she already has, it should be payments and interest as normal. If you're going to apply for new loans, new credit cards, I think we're all going to see tighter lending standards. We're used to 0% transfer balance offers and credit cards that we basically have to have no income or no assets to get. And I think we're certainly going to see that change.
All right, so last Monday, a week ago Monday, the bailout, as it was called, the $700 billion, wasn't passed. We had a redo go to the Senate on Wednesday. It did pass, and we've taped this early Friday morning, so we don't know if the House passed it yet. Whether it passes or not, what does this plan mean for us?
Well, I think if it passes, then we're going to see a much shorter time frame involved in getting us out of this economic mess. So it would mean less loss of jobs. It would mean that it will get a little easier to purchase homes, to refinance, to get credit for businesses who need credit to buy inventory or make payroll. If it fails, I think we could be in for a long, drawn-out recession, unfortunately. I don't think everything's going to fall apart overnight, but it will take a lot longer to climb back out of this economic hole if some pretty urgent measures aren't taken. I understand, and I completely agree, and I actually read the bill, and when you dig into it, we're not bailing out the corporate executives that were making millions and millions of dollars. I wouldn't be for that either. But what we are doing is allowing banks and lending institutions to continue doing what they do, which is lend money. And a requirement for those institutions to participate in the bailout is that they give us, the taxpayers, equity in their institution. So as the market recovers, it could actually allow us to reap profits from this, and the bill clearly states that those profits have to be used to pay down public debt. I think in the long run it could be an opportunity to allow us to actually profit at Wall Street's expense.
Thanks for being here, Dana. That was really, really helpful. We'll be back tomorrow answering questions on what to do if you get behind on your mortgage, the Hope for Homeowners Act, and money tips that we can use no matter what the economy brings. I'm Shay Pausa. We'll be back tomorrow serving up more She Knows Money and Finance here on The Dish. We'll see you then.
Thanks for watching She Knows TV. Look for more of The Daily Dish at sheknows.com.